With so many new people coming out to marches and rallies in the United States and even around the world, there's just so much civil unrest and uprisings in support of freedom and democracy, that to make real political and policy change, you should understand that marches and rallies are not the sum total of the work. In researching my book, The Instigators, I saw lots of great examples of Black women across U.S. history that demonstrate this. I always return to the 1960s civil rights movement often because it's such a great example of so many people who were not activists, who didn't work for major activist organizations, were business owners, had regular jobs, got up and came home after work and took care of their family, went to church, and that's it. But one example that really highlights this is Women Power Unlimited organization, founded by Claire Collins Harvey and Aurelia Young in Mississippi. The organization got its start due to a group of multiracial activists who were making a name for themselves traveling throughout the South in the early 60s, protesting segregation. They were called Freedom Riders, and they were protesting racial segregation on public buses traveling through the American South. And when they arrived, of course, at a bus station in Jackson, Mississippi, which is the Deep South, many of the riders were arrested and sentenced to 2 months in prison. And Claire Collins Harvey, who was a young Black business owner, living her life, minding her business, going to church on Sunday, volunteering a little bit, but she'd been paying attention to these protests. So when she noticed the trials and she watched them, she noticed that they were improperly clothed, a lot of these young activists, when they were standing trial. And that was because their belongings had been taken from them when they were detained. So Women Power Unlimited came out of that. A group of local women, business owners, they provided emotional and some material support for these folks, clothes and toiletries, whatever they needed to get through their incarceration. And after these folks left their prison, they continued to provide food and even housing if folks were staying in that area before they headed home. Many of them were hundreds of miles away from home. Seeing Women Power Unlimited expanded to providing voter registration and youth education for Black people. And when many more activists returned or came back in 1964 in what they call Freedom Summer, which was a major effort to register a lot more Black people in Mississippi, Women Power Unlimited sprung into action again, providing housing, food, volunteers, even organizing capacity, anything they can do to support these activists and their work.